happens on Tuesday nights and every night in March, y'all, because
Who's that? Basketball night. Go Heels, baby. Woo!
Carolina ending the game, Virginia winning the game, so we delayed a little bit,
We
but
had to delay.
you know,
So all the teams playing.
we here.
That was fun.
I had to flex our manhood and get some of this sports out of us.
Well, it's either we were going to come on and nobody's going to be talking because we were going to.
Yeah, we'll all be looking at the thing.
Excuse me. What did you say? Excuse me. What did you say? Repeat that.
That's funny.
Carrying what? Yeah, we won.
Yeah.
That's funny.
People might not watch because they might think, oh, they're not coming on tonight, but we're here. Late, better late than ever.
Better late.
All right, well, let's get going. We're gonna we'll go till 10 o'clock. So we have 50 minutes tonight that we're gonna roll through this, and we're talking about a pretty good topic again tonight. I think we keep coming with some heavy hitting topics, and the weight we carry, strength isn't silence, is the idea, and what we're gonna talk about tonight. So, man, the weight we carry. What kind of weight y'all carrying? What have y'all carried through things?
Well, the weight I carry, if Carolina didn't pull it out on senior night, was awful heavy. My backbone is a little stretched. Right,
it is heavy. That's real heavy because I don't know. I'm like a little. Well, I don't want to say a little kid, but I get mad when they lose, man.
Yeah,
Just
it ain't even March yet. I mean, it ain't even March Madness yet. This is still regular season. We're all sitting there like, we're gonna let a team dictate our move for the next 38 days.
Absolutely.
That's really it. That is true. Sports to me, sports can make my mood really good, or it can make my mood really bad, and that is the
Listen,
fact.
y'all. Listen, I know we all do this, but like, you guys go in like you have like the man flu, like women always make fun of us for having like the man flu, we're sick, whatever. But like when our team loses, do y'all ever just get like just so pissy? Like just leave me. I'm in the garage.
Yeah.
Or like I'm going for a walk, or I'm going.
I
will
put myself in timeout without any hesitation.
I will too. I am bad. I'm bad about it.
Me too.
I used
like
a
3-year-old.
I'm bad about it is taking the loss, taking the L.
My problem is that since I've been removed from college athletics, I don't really care as much, so I don't really get caught up in it, except for football. I will admit, but with NFL, man, the Cowboys are so bad that it's just like I'm numb to it.
You're upset all season.
I'm like
walking around like
I was upset. I was upset in like late July when Michael Parsons got traded. It was like, season's over. Like, what are we doing? So
I'll tell you, one thing that really got me stressed out one time is like for flying, we're supposed to have our phone on us all the time. We're supposed to, in case we get a call. And I was at the North Carolina NC State football game a couple of years ago.
Oh wow!
And, it was when we lost in the last couple of minutes. We just lost. And I was in the stadium, so I had no phone signal. And I came out of the stadium. As soon as my phone came alive, I had like 7 missed calls from my boss. And man, my stress level went through the roof because but it was Thanksgiving weekend, So I'm like, what am I getting? I don't know what he could be calling me for.
Right.
And so I called back and he was like, where are you? And why didn't you answer the phone? And I was like, well, I was in the North Carolina football, NC State football game. And he goes, I know, that's why I'm calling, because y'all lost. And they were sitting down into the Bahamas at a bar watching it. And they called me just to.
Boss or no boss, he would have called it that day.
Yeah.
Called all of it.
Yeah. I'd have carried you right on up out of here, boss.
Man, that put my stress level through the roof,
That's funny.
It's wild though. But I mean, I think the like just I'm fine. Like that's my thing. Like I'm good. I'm good. And I just try to deal with it on my own, because a lot of that stuff is we're supposed to be protector, strong, all those things. And then if we're not, we don't want to feel weak. But I'm like, I don't want to bother somebody else with it. Like if I'm going through it, I'm like, nah, I'll run through this because I'll do it on my own. But I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good.
But do we think men, do y'all think a lot of men default for silence?
Absolutely, yes, 110%. So I was in I was in a church meeting earlier today, and I had shared with the group. There were a couple of men that had crossed my mind. One particularly on Sunday, but then several throughout the week. And without naming names and situations, it just like popped up out of the blue. It's just like when I hadn't seen this person, or I haven't seen several people actually, and it's just like, I wonder what they're doing or what they're going through, where they've been. We would see each other on a weekly basis, and then all of a sudden, dead silence. So you never know. And I reached out. I have been reaching out to one probably over the last 2 months. Just here or there, a quick text message, couple of calls unreturned, and at first I'm thinking, oh, the person changed their phone number. No big worries. Maybe I'll just try to see if I can find them. And out of the blue, I got a text message, and it was dealing with a lot of stuff, just kind of was shutting down from everybody and didn't want to talk to anybody. And I knew that the relationship we had was so strong that if he wasn't even calling me back, I knew something was wrong. Right. And so I just said to him, I said, I don't know what you're dealing with right now. And unless you want to tell me about it, all I can do is pray for you. Know that my phone is not changing and you can call me whenever. And so this topic is really important to me because I know the things I deal with myself, but I'm more intentional about worrying about other guys that I'm close to that sometimes I don't hear from, and I automatically get worried.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
It's easier for us to suffer in silence or go through it in silence because we want to figure it out and be the fixer. It's easier for us to do that.
Yeah.
For whatever reason. Except with y'all, because I'm gonna let y'all know.
Yeah.
Hold on, put that up. No, you're right. I mean, I think that we just don't talk. Things go wrong, and it's easier to shut down and internalize it than it is to put it out there. And so a lot of times we lie with it and all that. And so I think that's a good thing that you brought up, Eric, because with your boys and all that, when they drop off the line and you hadn't heard from them, you're like, okay, what's going on? What's happening?
Yeah.
It's something definitely that you have to recognize.
Yeah. And we talked about it too, Josh. I think you brought it up. It might have even been last year. Like we compare a lot, so often, doing a lot of comparisons. And if something changes in the nature of whether it's at home or at work, compared to your friends, then it's like, rather than deal with it and be available to talk about it and kind of work through it, it's like, I don't want them knowing that I'm going through this because, they're not going through it or everything seems good on their end. But, we're there to be non-judgmental and just have to, just sit in whatever things that they're going through, especially for the folks that we care a lot about. And, I think this podcast, our friendship, as it's grown, it's just making me think more about other people than myself. It's like, I just want to be there to lift somebody else's burden in the best way that I feel like I can.
Yeah. Well, y'all saw that one. I just put it up, but I'm fine. How often do you get that from you? Or do you say that, or how often do you get that from people? I think that's the marker when you get that from somebody, I'm fine. When you know that they're off, that's somewhere. But you can't push. Can you push? Can you push guys to talk?
Well, I don't necessarily know that you can push, but I think you can definitely ask probing questions. They say any strong relationships, you have to peel that onion at least three times, right, to kind of get to the core. Yeah. And so if it's like someone who you know well, ask certain probing questions that's going to get them to elicit a different response than I'm fine. All right. So it's like my child. I talk to her every day and she's like, I'm fine, or I'm good. And, what makes it good? Like what you do at school, like what did you learn? And I think sometimes we just got to push back because men do fall into that natural positioning where we're fine, we're great, I'm good. Where that a lot of times are far from the truth. I haven't done it recently, but I used to try to be intentional about reaching out to certain guys and just being like, hey man, I love you. Just give me your top 3 things that I can pray for you about, or give me your top 2 things that I can pray for you about. And when you ask a person something like that, it's kind of hard for them to just be like, I'm fine.
No, man, don't pray for nothing. Everything's perfect.
Right.
Nah, you're really not.
I don't need your prayers.
Exactly.
That's there's a I don't know if it was from a movie, but it was 2 guys talking, and you can tell it's like an older man. He's like, man, what's the biggest lie you've ever told? The other guy's like, no, man, I'm fine. Right. And they're like, no, seriously, what's the biggest lie you've ever told? And he's like, I'm fine. That's the biggest lie I've ever told.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, oof. That one just hits. We're like, no, seriously, tell me. I'm like, that's it. Like, I'm good. I'd say it all the time. Like, that's the biggest lie, I think, people in general, but especially men, because we just don't. Again, the only man that wants you to be better than him is your father, and anybody else is like, okay, they're competition or they're trying to be better or whatever. So if I told you guys that I'm struggling with this, that's subconscious, like, okay, well, they're gonna think this, and this, and me, and they're like, that's just what we do. That's a huge lie we all tell everybody, even when we're not.
And then what happens on the flip side of that? And I don't want to take us down a rabbit hole or change the subject, but what happens when someone is going to be honest with you and you ask them if you're fine and they say no, and they want your time and start telling you what the challenge is? Do you have the time to sit in that moment to really listen to all the things that they may share with you? When I say that, the folks that I've been talking about specifically come top of mind, there's only but 1 or 2 things that I think could potentially be going on in those situations, but it's going to call for some time to spend to talk through some of those things or find out what types of resources they have in proximity to where they live, and are they willing to tap into those things, because I guess if you feel like you're at the bottom of the barrel, whether it's with the spouse, whether finances, whatever the case may be, health, and when you do keep it in and don't tell anybody, it's going to have stress levels lifting, starting to have thoughts creep in. And when you begin to isolate yourself, you never know what type of road a person wants to travel by themselves.
Well, I'll tell you, that's something I'm going to flip it a little bit on that, because that's some things that I've dealt with Tisha before, and she's really great about it now, because I'll end up getting in conversations and being there to support people. And sometimes I may have things to do, and she's very good. If I say, hey, I'm talking to somebody and they need me, that's really all I have to say. And she's like, okay, because she knows it's something, that I do quite often and all that. So she's very good about it. But to your point, sometimes it takes time. It takes time and it takes effort. And sometimes, if you may not have that time at that time, so how do you handle that and all that?
I think.
Go ahead, Debo.
Go ahead, Josh.
No, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say too, I think you just have to be honest with people. Like if you're not in a headspace, or if you're not in a position to give that time, say, hey, I hear you and I'm there for you, but let me go ahead and block out some time in my calendar, or, schedule an appointment so we can circle back around, because I want to make sure that you have all of me instead of just a fragmentation of me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And where I can really lock in and try to, listen, and then give you what you need. But if it's your friend and they going through, sometimes you got to drop things and you got to clear it immediately. And then some things may or may not allow for that. So, I think it's okay just to say it. You just have to be transparent in where you are and what you have, because you can only give what you can give.
True. Yeah, I'd say I think it's based on the relationship too. I think we give people the benefit of the doubt that, like, if you're going through it, you're not going to call me at 11:30 at night and want to talk through it unless it's like, I need it right now. Unless it's an emergency. So I think you give people that courtesy of like, okay, hey, if we want to talk about it, like, hey, can we talk? They've got to do their part too, But I think if you're going to ask them the question, might as well have that time there too. Like, no, bro, really, what's going on? And then you may be on the phone or at lunch or at call, like whatever. But I also think God puts people in our lives like that too. Those conversations of like, hey, like I just talked to you yesterday and things were good, but today it's like all this is happening. It may just be a timing thing. I think that's a trust piece of the relationship. It's a trust piece on, what he's laid in our path, and just kind of being obedient to that. But yeah.
Gosh, I mean, because we've talked about this before. I mean, and I've done it a handful of times, but if I call you and I'm coming to you, I need you,
Yeah, for sure.
I don't do it that often, but when I do, I do.
If you call, Matt's like, I need to, I don't know how Matt says it, but it's like the nicest, most positive, uplifting thing. But I'm like, all right, he's like, bruh, you got a minute? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, because I just need to, I don't know I can't remember what you said. You said a couple things, but I'm like, I know if you're calling it that, then you need that. And then that's when everything has to shut down. For men, I think I say easier for us to do because we want to fix it, but it's different. It's like the man to man, like, are you going to do it? You want me to do it type of thing. When it's women, it's like, hey, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give advice? And I think too many men, including myself, have been like, oh, I got it before they even get their problem out. And they're like, no, I already fixed it. I just need you to listen to me. And then we look like the jerk.
Yeah.
So like, it's like,
which one you want, girl? You want A, B, or C?
Right. I ain't ate all day. Girl, I'm gonna order you right now. But I just ordered and I ate before you got here. Like, oh, you stupid. Like, I think that's the biggest thing because we want to fix when it comes to women and kids. And sometimes, hey, do you want me to listen or do you want me to give advice? And then let them tell us what they need. Guys are a little bit different. We can kind of sense that and feel that and kind of like, bro, you good? You're not good? All right, bro. All right, I got you. Go ahead. So
But this right here, modeling health and strength for your family, I think this goes two ways. So we're going to talk about this in two ways, I think. And the first is personally, right? How do you model healthy strength for your family personally? How do you carry yourself? How do you communicate? How do you lead? How do you do all those things? So I think that's one way to talk about it. I think that's good. And then coming back full circle, it's this right here. I really try to, and y'all can take off and run with it, but I really try to model, tell my kids is, hey, you need to always be the bigger person in my mind. You need to, go back to the golden rule, treat do unto others that you'd have them do unto you. Right. And take it even a step further is do unto others as they would like.
They want to be treated.
It's not always about, how you would like it, but talk about that. Talk about how do you model yourself, with this? Because we probably haven't always handled ourselves perfectly. In this.
Me and Devo killed a few horses in our day.
It's still a growth point.
It's still a growth. Yeah, it's still a point of emphasis for sure.
I think one thing that I do now that I think is extremely helpful, especially knowing that my kids are adults and getting ready to step out on their own. A lot of times when I have a fault or when I've misstepped or miscalculated, I try to own it. I try to tell them. I try to say, okay, here's what I was thinking at the time. Now that I've had an opportunity to process it, here's the way that I would probably go back and handle that situation. And because what I want them to see is it's okay, one, to make mistakes, and it's definitely okay to own it. And if I do this a lot more with their mom, I think it just also shows how a guy should treat them and their relationships. So to me, it's kind of come full circle. Unfortunately, I've just waited while I got so long in the tooth before I started doing it.
Yeah, but you make a great point is to your kids of how they should be treated or want to be treated, know? And I totally agree with that because I think that's one thing with Braden getting married in September and Megan having a serious boyfriend and Lainey, dating and all that. You want them to know how they should and could be treated, so you want to model that with your spouse. And it wasn't a fast road, I've said it before. I think for me and Tisha, we've been married 30 years, coming up on 31, and we hit our stride at 20.
Yeah.
Where we really kind of said, okay, this is what we're doing.
That's about right.
I don't want to take take Braden and Megan and Lainey 20 years to, go through some of the stuff that we went through. Not that it was bad, but we could have, I feel like as a husband, I could have done better.
Yeah. I don't think I fully comprehend that I was the model, and how I treat their mother is how they're gonna expect to be treated. You know what I'm saying? So, like, I try to be careful about making snide comments. Definitely don't have an argument or an ugly argument. We may have a little pretty argument, but we don't have an ugly argument in front of the kids.
Do tell.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me grab my tea. Let me grab my tea kettle.
Yeah, so it's just like that's just so important. Especially when you're raising girls, man. I think that's and guys too. Really, I mean, because I think a lot of times our boys we allow them to think that it's okay to be a little turd here and there when that's the furthest thing in the world that we should be teaching.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about you, Eric? I mean, look, you got 2 young boys. What do you think about that? About how you treat Aaron and all that, their mom, because they're gonna grow up and pick that ass.
So,
mama, right?
So, that is top priority. And even I just go as further as yesterday. She had an iron infusion that she had to do for 3 hours. She's still got some things that she's dealing with. She's got to do that for the next 3 weeks, and I couldn't even think about work. I went to my meeting, and I went to a series of meetings that we had first thing in the morning. But I had to tell my managing director, like, I got to go home. I can't think straight today. And I told her that I was feeling something earlier in the evening on Sunday where she was concerned. And then she had told me what she had said, because I didn't even know she had the meeting set up. She had it set up that she was just going to go early Monday morning, sit, do what she had to do, and then go keep it moving. But because the alignment is there, I really sense things that are going on in her life, even if, again, we're talking about strength is not silence, but she does a lot of that now, where I've kind of flipped the script and I'm more vocal about things in prayer, conversating with you guys. We're kind of like in touch with my feelings. And she's in invert, and now she's not holding stuff in and whatnot. And so I find myself trying to pull things out of her to say, hey, don't go on isolation. Whatever we're doing, we're going to do it together. We're going to make it happen. And I know the boys see that. I asked her what value she got from that, because time away from work could put a strain on us. She said, it's helpful to see me show up for the boys when she can't, or she doesn't feel strong enough to show up, or she's distracted by things that are going on work wise. And so it strikes a healthy balance of being able to be available, be flexible with my time, show up for her, stand in the gap, try to lift her up. It is funny, while Devon was talking, and I was like, the play on words for me now, post surgery, is in the word modeling healthy strength for my kids is working out in my physical strength, because I probably now feel the best I've felt in my life in the last at least 2-3 years. And a lot of that has to do with decisions that I've made around just getting back into shape to be able to, run up and down the court with them during season for basketball, be able to run outside and play and do the things that make me feel I want to be here for a long time. And so some of that modeling is both in the behavioral things that I do, obviously setting stage with how I treat my wife, but some of it really is physically and making sure that is taken care of. The temple is taken care of, because there are days we talk about carrying weight, literally. I mean, I'm ebb and flow. I might get you 225 by the end of next month, but then I might get back up to 260 in 2 months after that. So it's kind of this ebb and flow, but that's got to be balanced. And I think when those things are balanced, Dr. Jason was talking about that last time, but when those things are balanced, it's easier to deal with other things that go on in the home that are important. So a lot of my stuff has to do with just my physical strength, and it flows into everything else that I do.
Yeah. Speaking of that, talking about what you're saying, I mean, Tisha knows when something's wrong. So, announcement, right, for me. But like when I had the cancer, when I went in and told her, hey, I turned the corner and she looked at me and goes, what's wrong? Because it played on me. Like she knew exactly what was wrong. But guess what? Today, cancer free, baby.
Cancer free, baby.
Yeah. Go. I mean, that's the way to do it. If you're going to get cancer on Thanksgiving and be cancer.
And have it gone by March Madness.
Have it gone
by the Duke game.
Have it gone by the Duke game. That's it. But to your point, I have a goal, Eric. It's like, I mean, this surgery, I've told y'all, this surgery kicked my ass. Like it literally beat me down. More so than I thought it would. So I know coming, and yours probably did too, what y'all, you had done. And I know coming out of this surgery that going into next week, now that I'm cancer free, that I need to, once I get cleared by the doctor, I need to work out. I need to get right. I need to change, continue to change things and get healthy. I mean, I'm feeling like, I've lost a bunch of weight, and now I'm right. But I agree with what you said, man. And I think for us as a collective group, I mean, that's something we can lean on each other with,
Yep.
Absolutely, man. Just say it again. Just say it again.
Yeah, cancer free, survivor.
Hallelujah.
You got to tell everybody too what prostate cancer is. A Carolina blue ribbon. I mean,
right.
I think the tattoo's got to come. Like I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get one with you. I'll put it on my arm somewhere, bro. Like that's what's up. I'm so happy.
September when my son is getting married. That's prostate cancer month, and it is no kidding. The ribbon is Carolina blue, baby.
Put that sucker right here on your neck.
Yeah.
Come on.
I might get it right here. Just
might as well get it on your cheek. Get it like a teardrop right there.
Yeah, get that's awesome. Teardrop right there. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's it. So yeah, found that out today. This afternoon, I sent it to my family, and I sent it straight to y'all. So
yeah. I mean, that's something that obviously you've been carrying when you talk about carrying stuff for kids and strength and all that stuff. I mean, you've been carrying that. You've carried it well, obviously with us and obviously with Tisha and the kids, but you still coming into the office every day.
Yeah.
And when you're not talking to us and you're not talking to Tisha, you're not talking to the kids, you've been carrying that too. So I know that's probably weighed on you too.
So I've told y'all, I mean, and y'all know this, I'm always positive, right? I'm always carrying positivity and I don't really get down. But I will say, like, if you're talking about suffering in silence or you're thinking about stuff, it weighs on you, it weighs on you. And it weighs on you till you get that free, that cancer free.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, I mean, I fought with the doctor's office because I have to have the pathology report. I knew he came out of it and said, hey, coming out of the surgery, he said, your cancer was encapsulated inside the prostate. There was nothing external in the margins. Okay, that's key. But I wanted to see the pathology report. I just didn't want the verbal. I got the damn pathology report yesterday, finally, right? Because I have to give it to the FAA next week. And then the other thing was seeing that number. And I kept telling Tisha, I'm like, I just want to see it. I just need to see it. I get it, but I need to see it. And once I see it, then I might be all right. But if I don't see it, then I'm going to always have that second guess.
It's like doubting Matthew over here.
Yeah.
I want to see. I want to see it.
I want to see it.
I know you said by your stripes I'm healed, but I just need to see the report.
I just need to see it. I just need to see it.
You could have been lying to me.
Yeah. I was about to pull it up here, but I think you already know. But yeah, and that doesn't make you less Christian because you need to see the paper. I mean,
he knows what we feel.
We condemn and sometimes get so hard on ourselves, but you know, the fact remains is he knows what you feel. He feels that. He felt those things. That's why he came down to the earth to feel what we feel. He knew he was going to bear our sins, die on the cross for this moment right here for you to shout you're cancer free, because I already stored that up for you as a promise. But that doesn't mean that you don't feel those things, that you want to get the report and whatnot. And I think oftentimes when you're talking about carrying weight, we carry the burden of shame and guilt and condemnation, that if we're not holding the mantle like Moses and we let that staff down, we're gonna get bit by a serpent. It's no. He knows we're weak.
Yeah.
Bible says that where we made weak, he's made strong, and his perfection is made that we get to see that. And you know, when you first told it, I was like, man, you ain't got cancer. You know, I was like declaring it. You don't have it, you know. But we knew you needed to see the paper, and so glad that you got confirmation. But man, when you text us today, man, I actually told Aaron, I said, I wonder if Matt knows about the Black Church praise break, because I'm about to do a little dance for him, because I was really happy for you, for your family, because that, you know, it's more than just my family. This thing has expanded to this family. Devo, we've been rocking for 30 years or more, but it's beyond just my family. When you win, I win. When Josh wins, I win. Devo wins, I win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So true. So true. So I appreciate y'all. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Yeah. Yeah. You know, I think well, let me put this one up here. Y'all keep talking. I like to put it up here.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the things that you said about carrying it for our kids sometimes is sometimes they don't see us how many times that maybe they were the reason that we got up. Another form of carrying whatever it is, whether it's finances or, you know, parenting or school, like whatever it is that we're carrying that they don't see. I don't ever want them to see that, hey, I was even down. You know, it's like, hey, no, it's good. But they'll understand it one day about how it is to be a man or be a parent or be, you know, whatever that may be. It's like, hey, I don't want you to see me.
Yeah.
You're the reason I got up so many times, but I don't ever want you to feel that I was down.
Yeah. Well, look, it's
that
right
makes
there.
Sense.
How do you lead your family without emotionally disappearing?
Yeah.
And as a man, how do you lead your family showing young men and your daughters that it's okay to show emotion, right? It's okay to be emotionally involved and invested in things. And I think that's very important. Yeah.
I think you just got to see it. I mean, I think it's like anything else. I mean, you can say, hey, you know, I'm open. You're open book, share. But if we're not sharing, then you're like, what?
Yeah.
Like, I think it's a big, and you guys know, Devo made me sick for a second. Like, you guys know, like, we all go to, you know, games and all those things, and we clap and we yell and we scream and we do all that stuff. And I remember going to church with Hudson, like when we were at worship or whatever, and I'm still like, I'm getting it, like I'm swaying, I'm rocking, I'm head bobbing, like we're doing the thing. And he looked at me, and it's been years ago, and he just kind of looked at me. He's like, "Why are you doing that?" Like he was little, like he didn't understand. I'm like, dude, I'm just worshiping. He's like, but Dad, and I'm like, hold on. So I was like, look, we just went to a football game last weekend. If I can yell and scream and all that stuff for these kids or for whatever, why would I not be able to worship and just be me and be excited and happy and whatever? And he's like, okay. So now that he's cool, you know, teenagers, they just, you know, doing this thing. But I'll catch him every once in a while. Like he'll be, you know, he'll do a little head nod or he'll do a little thing. And I'm like, bro, like, and somebody sent him into my live one night on Sunday nights, and you know I just rock out on Sunday nights, man. It's like the music, and they're like, dude, what are you doing? I'm like, look, if I go to a basketball game last night, I should be able to worship just like this too, and I'll do both. And my friends that have been to church with me and been to a game with me are like, that's just what you get. Like there's got to be that much more excitement for worshiping than there is that. But that's a way to They have to see that. Our kids have to see that emotion and see that it's okay to cry and see that it's okay to share and see all that stuff, or they don't know it's okay.
If the Tar Heels would have lost, you ought to see me and Devo emotionally disappear.
Eric, it would have been me and you tonight, bro.
Like, why? It's just a basketball game. It's all good.
Sir,
Right.
no, sir. It's never just anything.
It's gonna be Duke and Arizona in the Final Four. It's all good.
Oh, here we go.
Hey, to that point, Josh, I had a preacher mentor challenge me too. Is like, yeah, you hoop and holler, you say bad words, and you do all types of things, and yet you get in church and you sit on your hands. And I just keep thinking about one day when we sitting at the throne and we have to give an account of our life, man. And God pulls out the big book and he's just like, look, man, you were ashamed of me. You wouldn't even worship in people who claim they like me or who want to be with me, but yet you sit in silence, right? And so like ever since that time, I like the last probably 6 Sundays that I've gone to church, I have just boo-hooed and just hoot and hollered, just because I get so convicted and get filled with his grace and just start thinking about his grace and everything that he's done, and like all the different situations that he has brought me out of, where I probably shouldn't even be on this podcast right now.
Justice Hall.
Yeah. Damn sure shouldn't be employed. Yeah, I heard you.
Last hall with balls.
Summer orientation. Yes, I get all that. I understand. So, yeah, man, like we have got to get over ourselves, right? And put ourselves out there and let people know the God that we worship is a mighty God who can take us out of cancer in 4 months, 3 months, you know, who can just wipe the whole slate clean and give us breath and let us get up another day and you know, screw it up again, but yet he still embraces in his arms. Like to me, I geek out over stuff like that. Man.
True.
Because I think people have that type of understanding.
Right.
I got interviewed today, and I got in the interview. I got asked a question, like, and it was about being a counselor. That's what the interview was about. It's like, well, what do you do, or how do you bring in the faith to that? And you know, especially maybe they don't want it, and how do you introduce it and all that? But I think that the thing is like when you're in a counseling role, you're going, and somebody's going through. I think what being a Christian counselor, and it's not just about being a Christian counselor, it's being all of us, it's being men, is that what I love about it is when you're introducing Christ into that arena. Normally when people are coming to counseling, a lot of times they've lost hope.
Yeah.
Well, what is, you know, our Lord and Savior? What does he bring us? He brings us hope, you know? And so when you can take somebody who's going through a struggle, and you can say, hey, you can turn to, you know, our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and he'll give you hope, you know, and they don't know how to maybe do that. That to me is just positive. You know, that to me is how you just can take. I don't know hardly anybody who's made it past drug addiction or alcohol addiction or any of these things without that hope, without Jesus Christ in their life, you know. And I will tell you that there's a guy. His name is Matthews. Great guy. He was on it. I mean, he almost died, and then he was on his knees and he said, "God save me." And guess what? He's been clean and sober since. All right. You know what he said? This Matthew is a gay guy, and he said, "I did not think God would save me because I'm a gay man." And he said, "But I literally was saved." It's an amazing story. One of my favorite interviews I've ever done. He said he was in his bed. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and he kept and he lived on the beach, and he kept being told, "Get up and go to the beach. Get up and go to the beach." And he's like, "Why am I going to get up and go to the beach?" And he got up and went to the beach. And he has the picture. And he said he went to the beach and he was on his knees praying. And it was raining when he started going to the beach. You know, he got there, he was on his knees praying, and he has a picture and it's this screensaver on the thing. And I'm telling you what, it is the most amazing picture because it is the sun breaking the horizon, and it is a straight line coming at him, and it is a cross. It is a cross, and since then he's been in that world of recovery, helping people. That's what he does for a living. And he said, I have never met somebody who's been successful in that arena that has not had turned to Jesus and asked him to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the cool thing about it, fellas, is that we're embarking upon a time now where it's incumbent upon the church to reclaim its position, because people are searching for hope. Like you said, Matt, everywhere you turn, and no shade to you, Josh, or anybody else that uses the platform of social media and stuff, but there are a lot of people that are looking for the answers through, responding to social media posts and getting their feelings up and down based on what they see on social media. And it's like there's no problem in that, so you can get information from that. But there is nothing like the Word of God, where you can get your information that it's insightful, that what's happening now doesn't come as a surprise, and what's to come doesn't come as a surprise, but it anchors that hope, and knowing that, like I was talking to my mom yesterday, and she was telling me, she said, Rick, I was thinking about this lady I was talking to. I was telling her about how, I was telling you that when your dad goes away on trips and preaching and other things, and because I'm getting older, I get afraid sometimes. I'm at home by myself and all this other stuff. And I told her, I said, Mom, I said, how many times I tell you to turn to God's emergency plan, Psalms 91, go to sleep. And I said, it's by design that thing is 911 in the spirit, no different than we would call the cops or the sheriff or whoever in the natural. It is God's blueprint that right now when he says that 10,000 may fall on you right, 1,000 may fall on you right, it won't come near your dwelling. That's a promise, and that's a promise of encouragement, of faith, of peace, whatever you're going through. When you see things happening, not just in this country, but other countries, it is sad, because we feel those things. We know we are losing people. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, someone's losing their life every day that we have disturbances. And if you feel those things, you feel for the loss. But the hope that we have and the promise that Jesus is going to return, and that if we believe in him, we're not going to shed tears. We're not going to have cancer. We're not going to have whatever ailment we may have now. I just learned one of my cousins is on life support right now. And I said, the peace that comes from transitioning to be with our Lord and Savior, it's hard to imagine because of the time we miss with our families that suffer with us not being here. But I'm convinced that if I close my eyes for the last time here on earth, I wake myself up in paradise dining with the King.
Yeah.
And that is a great feeling. But that sting of death is no longer there anymore. So I don't have that sting. I just want to spend time with my family as long as I can. But if my time comes, I'm in paradise dining and getting all the benefit, And so I think that's what you're talking about, Matt, when you're talking about the gentleman that was on the beaches. That hope is there. It's just a matter of discipling folks who are looking for something, try something different, encourage them to come with no shade, no condemnation. Just, hey, why don't you try Jesus? Why don't you try this? I mean, it may work for you, may not, but hey.
Yeah. I think you can look at it like this, and y'all can jump on that. Y'all saw that Bible verse, but right, we could take out the word Father, right? And we could put everybody there, right? God never designed fathers to carry the crushing weight alone. God never designed it for anyone to carry the crushing weight alone, And I think that's what this podcast is so beautiful and such a great thing is like, how can we be there for each other? Like I said, I sent that thing today to my family, and then I sent it to y'all, because this group, and there's a lot of other people I sent it to, but this group is very important to me, because we support each other, and that means something, but I think that's for everybody, right? Expand on that. What do you think about that? Eva, you're up.
Oh, Lord. You caught me mid-thought. The first thing that I'm thinking about that is, like, that's dudes. Like, we're hard-headed. And Eric, we have to get to that spot of where we're broken before we can reach out. Unfortunately, a lot of times, because Devon thinks that Devon can solve everything. And in fact, Devon can't solve anything. You know what I'm saying? And so Devon has to go through his 25-step process in order to check the boxes and get to step 26 to figure out, hey, if I just fell on my knees and started where I should have began, like I wouldn't have all these trials and tribulations to begin with. But we're just so rugged and we're just so dumb where we just think we can do it all ourselves. Like that's real. Like, we wasn't designed to carry crushing weight alone, but I'd be damned if we don't try. You know what I'm saying? And then when we wake up and our back hurting and we done toe out the third and fourth vertebrae, that's when we start to ask for help. And so I think that's why it's also so important for us, if another brethren comes to us and be like, hey dude, this is what it is. Like, embrace that. Think like we can be Mother Teresa, or we can be, whoever. I was going to say Jerry Falwell, but I'm not sure if that's a good one. But nevertheless, he's still a King's kid, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and say Brother Falwell too. Josh, that's for you. So yeah, like any of these religious leaders, to the least of them. Several months ago, I talked about the dude who I saw at Circle K, how other people was just like stepping over dude. And then, I tried to offer him a bag of apples. Of course, he didn't want my apples, but I was caught up in my feelings for a minute. But nevertheless, we look at things as being transactional, and I think sometimes we just got to stop and we got to embrace who God has brought into our paths, and just try to enlighten them and share a little sunshine to them or with them.
Yeah, I think it's tough. We all try to carry it and do it on our own, until we realize that we need other men around us. So when people come to us, it's almost like, for me, annoyance is too strong of a word. But if it's somebody else coming up like, hey man, I don't know how to do this. I'm like, do you have any men around you in your life? Nah, man, nah. And then it's almost like, bro, like, are you stupid? But Debo just said we are. But I think until we realize that, one, we're not going through it alone. 2, we weren't made to go through it alone. And 3, we're going to go backwards if we try to do it alone. We need other men and other people in our lives, women, whatever our age group is, to hold us accountable. That we just can't. We literally cannot do it alone. We think we can. We also think that we're the only ones going through it. And both of those are false. Both of those are completely wrong. So
yeah, like as we go out, come full circle, right? Look at that. That is, we can trust on each other.
Yep.
But ultimately, that's it. Cast your burden on the Lord. He will sustain you.
Yep.
And that's the most important thing. But I think, again, what we can talk about in this podcast, and what we are talking about in this podcast, is we're here for each other.
Yep.
But ultimately, there's a higher power that we all have to be into.
Yep.
And I think that is maybe coming full circle in this conversation, Evo. Maybe that's what took me 20 years to get to, is that, it's not just about me in my everyday life. It's maybe trusting in the Lord, and then setting that good role model within my family to let them know that that's the ultimate right there. Yeah.
True.
Amen.
It's just another level.
Another level.
Takes us from here to here.
All right, we're at an hour, so we'll take it out. So that was my final word. So we'll go. Eric, you want to go next, or you want to take us out?
I'm good. I don't have anything else to add other than I'm so happy for you. I rejoice with your family and the good news of your cancer-free diagnosis. So just love you, brother.
I mean, it came with losing a body part, but it's all worth it.
Yeah.
I'll say that, talking about carrying the weight we carry, you carried it. You carried it for the last year. You carried it mentally without some people knowing, some of us knowing, whatever, and then what you carry day to day. And I think that that's a true testament, obviously, to who you are and how you have put people in your life to help you with that. And I would just, final word for me is men, just let people help you. Let other men help you. Find good men. They will lift you up. They will stand in the gap for you. They will pray for you. They will call you. They will keep the guardrails up for you. You just got to let them. You just got to let them.
Yeah.
Happy to be there for you, Matt. Happy for you.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good day. Eva, close us out for the last word.
Yeah, Matt, super proud of you, brother. Keep fighting a good fight. Keep doing what you're doing. Swing for the fences. As an old baseball player, you may get that grand slam, brother. So proud of you. Only thing I'll say, gentlemen, you are not in a silo. You are not in isolation unless you decide to put yourself there. Like what Josh said earlier about guys think that they're the only one going through. You're not. And quit being so damn arrogant and thinking that you got all the problems in the world and no one else has any. Like, you're not by yourself. And I guarantee you, if you just suck it up a little bit, Buttercup, and you ask another dude and put yourself out there, you will probably find more help and more likeness than you find differences. And that's the way to get through and make it to the next level, man. Like talk to people and ask and just don't be afraid to put yourself out there. I think you can get a whole lot of benefit from it.
Yeah. I lied. I got something else to say. Yeah, my PSA is like, if you're a man, get your PSA check. Get your blood work check. Not just about the prostate, but make sure you're getting a physical. If I hadn't been getting a physical, I would have never known. And if I hadn't have found out, I'm in a Facebook group that has been really very helpful. But I can only tell you, in that Facebook group, there is 2 or 3 women that pop in there, maybe women or kids that pop in there that say, my husband or our father lost his battle this week. And the whole key about, I should go on and live, another 30, 40, however many years God lets me be on this earth. And that's because I caught it early. Yeah. You got to catch it early. That's the key. The key is catching it early and taking action. So I'm lucky. I caught it early. I have an uncle who was probably sitting right. I've said it before. He's sitting right where I was when he was 53, and he wasn't so lucky because by the time he caught it at 57, it had metastasized, and he didn't make it and lost his battle. But yeah, get checked. That's God. I went through this. I'm lucky enough. I'm cancer free. Now, what am I going to do with it? How am I going to help people? In the process, God gave it to me for a reason. And let me go forward and try to figure it out and help people wear that blue ribbon, for awareness, So that's all.
Hey, do you want to tell the people what PSA stands for?
Public service announcement. No, I don't exactly. I can't remember exactly what it's. It's something. PS. It's antigen, but it's basically what it is. Is when they check your blood, it's released by the prostate, and so then it's whatever that is released by the prostate. When that number starts to go above a 3.0, if you're below 60, or above a 3.0. When it goes above a 3.0, when you're below 60, and then above a 4.0 when you're above 60, you're starting to get into the, and so that's it. You really got to pay attention if it's starting to move. You got to follow it. And yeah, mine trended it was over a 3-year period that mine was just trending up slowly. So, but yeah, like I said, the way the doctor said is the fire had started, so that was a cancer fire inside of me. And we luckily caught it before it turned into a wildfire,
Yeah.
So, all righty, let's go. Oh, prostate.
Somebody just put it in there.
Yeah,
prostate specific antigen.
Yep. That's it. So PSA, men, get your PSA check. That's my PSA.
Thank you, Mr. Google.
My public service announcement.
My PSA for my PSA.
Yeah, my PSA for my PSA. All right, guys. Love you guys. And
Love y'all.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Have a good night.
See you next week.
Yes, sir.
Cancer free. Let's